Welcome aboard for another video.
Thanks, Conductor Keith. So by now, most of you who watch my channel have seen my O-gauge layout here that I built to display my 1/48 scale Kobe airplanes and tanks. And I'm going to scenic all this and that. Now, here's the thing that keeps niggling at me. This is 1/48 scale-ish. I mean, obviously, it's not scale. It's old Trek with my 100-year-old locomotive back there and stuff. But O scale and O-gauge toy is 32 millimeter gauge, which happens to be the same gauge as 1/19 scale 2-foot narrow gauge models. I wonder, can I get my live steam birdie around this 27-inch diameter curve? I mean, you look right here at this end, this is the curvature, 27 inches. So I have cleared everything off for the test, but I mean, there's no need to take that off. I mean, that's neither here nor there. And this is wired, that's wired in. So hopefully there's clearance around it. I would be reluctant to try this without a locomotive with radio control because of the very sharp curves. Now they're slightly super elevated. You can see there's these stir sticks here. Slight super elevation should help. It just clears that. This will clear the walls. There's enough room. It doesn't hang up on anything. But I can't couple it. See? I have to rig something here to couple this. So this is a link that came with my Accucraft Shay. So I think that, and these are the two pins. One for each side of the locomotive, of course, each end of the locomotive. But I thought, if I put that there, let's see what happens. All right. Look at that. Now it'll go around the curve. Just to help set the scene a little, I've got several birdhouses, decorative birdhouses, like I use on my upstairs railway. Before I get started, I think it's smart to test the radio-controlled throttle. That's good. So now it's time to see if my Roundhouse birdie will go on my post-war Marx O-gauge toy train track. Now, the British call that course scale. We have some Swift 16 cars here. Of course, Lord Michael and Conductor Keith are here for the test. Naturally, we have the Friar, our great friend the Friar, who is an absolute rail fan. He doesn't miss much. And where would we be without Henry and Marge? Now we have Vion, the driver there. He's been pestering for me to try this. So this video is actually really for him. And in the back there, we have Brom, the stoker. All right, so the locomotive has been oiled with machine oil. It has compound steam oil in the lubricator. It's watered. It's fueled. It's now time to light the engine. You know, if this works, it will prove you don't need a lot of room for live steam. Also, if it works, I hope that Roundhouse and Accucraft and everybody's listening, you could have an O-gauge, like 1/48, doesn't have to be fancy, it can be coarse scale, live steam locomotive that runs just as fine as these for toy track. There's so many people who would want that. All right, so I guess this is more or less sort of moment of truth. I have actually run it back and forth a bit on its own before it was hooked onto the train, just to, you know, get the cylinders warmed and stuff. Henry, it's so exciting to see this narrow gauge locomotive today. Know what you mean, Marge? Yes, very exciting indeed. I'm hoping in this shot you might see the super elevation of the track. So it's such a fine engine as it is, and of course it's well bedded in. And I just use the dial here for the throttle, and I find that it's easy to control. It doesn't take off. At no point do I feel worried about it coming off the track. Feels very solid. Now I thought I'd try some of my old vintage Mammoth rail cars that I repainted and relettered. I'm fairly sure that Lord Michael considers this an extremely successful test.
Warning, carbon monoxide, monoxide de carbone.
I guess I should have opened more windows.